Since the beginning of time, life was good for the plants, animals, and people living in and around the Great Klamath River, the umbilical cord for the universe. The river, flowing strong, brings food and life to all. The Klamath River is part of a huge watershed. The rain and snow in the mountains would flow freely to the lakes, rivers, and ocean. This connected the skies, the land, and the ocean. The plants, animals, and people thrived with the flow of water all year long. However, when new people came to the land, they saw all the good things and became greedy. These people wanted to make money from the water by controlling it. They decided to build dams to stop many parts of the river. They began to control the flow and profit off the energy and resources of the Klamath. Over time, the plants, animals, and people downstream began to suffer because of the dams. Echo was a husky res dog. He was raised by Tsink, a boy who came to him at night on the Klamath River. Tsink gave the dog his name. At first he called him Noikineot, it barks a lot. Echo would try to say it back to him, which always put a twinkle in his eye and made the boy laugh. The boy began calling him Echo, since his bark echoed his words. He taught Echo as they went on adventures together. Tsing showed Echo how to live with nature on the Klamath River by fishing and hunting, till one night the boy mysteriously did not show up to fish with Echo. Echo was all alone. Echo still hunted and fished for his food. He worked hard to be a strong and brave dog. At night he would sleep by the river, waiting for Tsing. One day, when the sun was high in the sky, Echo was fishing in the river and heard screams downstream. A little girl was caught in the current and was crying out, "Mommy, help!" Echo heard Houghton swim in the water. A woman called back as swift as a shooting star. Echo ran to the top of the rock and jumped into the water. He caught the little girl and held her close, making sure her head was above water. Echo pulled her back to shore. Her family was so happy. "Do you want to come home with us?" the woman asked. Echo barked a few times while he thought about it. Echo missed Tsing and wanted to stay just close to the river in case he ever did come back. Maybe next year, Echo thought as he shook his head. He ran back to the forest, a happy and proud dog. Next year, if Tsing did not come back, Echo decided he would look for the family again and maybe go home with them. But Tsing did not come back. So the next year, when the sun was high in the sky, Echo returned to the same spot on the river. He saw the salmon in the water, but something was off. The water looked like the color of the trees in the grass. Echo went towards a fish. Ew, he thought as he sniffed the water. It smelled nasty. He wasn't even sure if he should get into the water. Something just felt wrong. But Echo was hungry, so he put his paws in the water and slowly caught a fish. To his surprise, the fish did not try to swim away. If Echo wasn't starving, he would have just put the fish down. This year, though, Echo had had a hard time finding any fish. Echo remembered how Tsing had taught him how to live in nature, and he slowly ate the salmon. Echo's tummy started hurting after eating the fish. Hunger pains were now something else. He knew that bad smell must have been something to do with the green color in the water. He felt floppy like the fish he had eaten. He tried to drink some water from the river, but it only made it worse. Echo had a very bad feeling about what would happen next. As Echo lay on the riverbank, he cried for Tsing and dreamed of the little girl and her family. The sun had almost left the sky when Echo heard a scream that sounded familiar. Echo wasn't sure if it was his imagination, but as he looked up, he heard it again. "There he is!" the little girl called out. This time, the girl was taller. "Are you sure that's the Noikineot that saved you last year?" He heard another familiar voice say, "Houghton, he looks sick," the voice continued. "Mom, we have to take him now," Houghton replied. Echo opened his eyes faintly, and he saw the same girl that he had saved. She was now there to save him. The girl took him in her arms, and he gave a happy cry. As she carried him away from the river, Echo still felt sad. His heart felt crushed to think what he may never see Tsing again, or fish on the river again. He wondered what would happen to all the other animals that lived on the river. He thought about the playful otters, the birds, the turtles, the frogs, and even critters. Were they getting sick now too? Who would save them? "Why do you think this Noikineot is so down?" Houghton asked her mom on the way home. "The river is sick," her mom replied. The green algae bloom makes the fish sick, which makes everything else sick too. That's why we can't swim in the river or fish for salmon this year. The water is being held in the dams upstream, making the water too low. Chemicals in the water build up too. Now the river is sick, making all the animals sick, the mom explained. That's terrible, Hun whispered. Then she said softly to Echo, I'm going to help you get well. I wish someone would help the river get well again too. When they got home, Hun made Echo a nice bed and gave him some food and water. She laid down next to him and almost fell asleep, but suddenly both perked up their ears. Knock, knock, knock. Hun, that's for you, Hun's mom said. For me, she replied. Who? She looked curiously and sleepy as she opened the door. A huge smile arose as her cousin, Kitai, walked in. Kitai means flower, and Kitai was a flower. Kitai was sweet and always bright. She had gone away to college last year, and Hun was very excited to see her. Your mom said you wanted to protect the river. Well, you are not alone, Kitai explained. People made the river sick by building the dam, so people can take it down too. You can help. Hun was excited. But what can I do? She asked. Kitai took out some paper and markers from her backpack. Let's make some signs to protect the salmon. Without them, our way of life is impossible. From the Kosos to the Noikanea. Kitai blinked at Echo as she explained. To you and me, we need the salmon and clean water to live. The dam monster at the head of the river makes the water toxic. Our fish get sick in this water. It's called fish kill. We have had the worst fish kill in the whole country here because of the dams. The fish are our relatives, and we need to take care of them like they take care of us. You can make a sign for our next event. We have to speak up. The dams need to come down so the river can get well. Kitai drew a salmon on her sign as she spoke. Her excitement was catching, and Hun was right to get to work as well. While the girls made their posters, Echo nudged his water bowl forward to help them so they could use it to paint. He wagged his tail as he saw the beautiful signs they created. Echo had hope. After all, he was feeling better already. Maybe the river would feel better soon too. Hun's sign included Echo. He was wagging his tail as he watched the two girls work. By the time they were done, he had fallen asleep. In his dreams, he echoed sing as they ran along the river and fished together into the sunset.